When your car shakes at a red light, the RPM needle keeps jumping up and down, the engine feels like it wants to shut off, or it actually stalls when you put it in drive, reverse, or turn on the AC, do not start throwing parts at it yet, because this is exactly how people waste money on spark plugs, ignition coils, fuel injectors, sensors, and even fuel pumps when the real problem is sometimes a cracked rubber hose, a dirty throttle body, a vacuum leak, or one sensor that only needs cleaning. And here is the truth most people learn too late. When a car has a rough idle, some people keep changing parts until the problem disappears. But when that happens on your money, you are not diagnosing anymore, you are gambling. So in this video, we are going to test, not guess, and I'm going to show you the exact order to check rough idle and RPM bounce at home, starting with the $0 checks first, then the cheap cleaning fixes, then the scan tool checks that tell you what the engine computer is actually seeing. You do not need a professional workshop to start. For most of this diagnosis, you only need your eyes, a flashlight, a screwdriver, throttle body cleaner, MAF sensor cleaner if your car uses a MAF sensor, a clean cloth, maybe a basic multimeter, and a cheap OBD2 scanner if you have one. And if you do not have a scanner, many auto parts stores can read engine codes for free, so do not let the word diagnosis scare you. So before you buy anything, before you replace anything, and before you let someone tell you the engine is finished, start here. The first place I want you to look is the air intake boot, and that's because the problem is often hidden in plain sight. This is the large rubber hose that runs from the air filter box to the throttle body. And if your car uses a mass airflow sensor, the computer measures the air before it enters this hose. That means if the hose is cracked after the sensor, extra air can sneak into the engine without being measured. And when that happens, the computer gives the engine the wrong amount of fuel, the idle becomes unstable, and the RPM can bounce up and down like the car is confused. Do not just glance at the top of the hose and assume it is fine. Squeeze the rubber gently, bend the accordion folds, and look inside the grooves because that is where the hidden cracks usually live. Many of these boots look perfect from above, but when you flex the rubber, the split opens underneath. Also, check the clamps on both ends, because if the hose is loose at the throttle body or loose at the airbox, that can create the same problem. If you see a split, a loose clamp, a disconnected small hose, or oil around a broken fitting, fix that first, because a small intake leak can feel exactly like a bad sensor, a bad injector, or a weak ignition coil. The simple way to understand this is that your engine needs the right balance of air and fuel at idle. And when unmetered air gets in, the engine goes lean, the computer starts correcting, the RPM starts hunting, and then you get that annoying idle bounce where the car sounds like it is breathing in and out by itself. After the intake boot, move to the vacuum lines and the PCV system, because this is the second $0 check that catches a lot of rough idle problems. Vacuum lines are the small rubber hoses around the intake manifold, brake booster, evap system, and PCV valve, and if one of them cracks, disconnects, collapses, or leaks, the engine can suck in extra air and idle badly. Sometimes you will hear a clear hissing sound when the engine is running, and that hiss can point you toward the leak. Now, some people use flammable sprays around the intake to search for vacuum leaks, but I do not recommend that for beginners, because spraying flammable chemicals around a hot engine is not something you want to play with. A safer beginner method is to listen carefully, inspect every hose by hand, and use a little soapy water around suspected hose connections while watching and listening for a change in idle. A professional smoke test is still the best method because smoke will come out exactly where the leak is. But even without a smoke machine, you can often find cracked hoses, loose clamps, broken plastic elbows, and disconnected lines just by slowing down and looking properly. The PCV valve is another small part that can make the engine act like something major is wrong. If the PCV valve sticks open, it can behave like a vacuum leak, and that can cause rough idle, RPM bounce, whistling noise, oil consumption, or stalling when the engine is under load. If your vehicle has an easy-to-remove PCV valve, pull it out and inspect it. If it is full of sludge, cracked, stuck, or the hose connected to it is soft and oily, replace it. On many cars, this is a cheap part, but when it fails, it can make people start chasing much more expensive problems. Now, if the intake boot, vacuum hoses, and PCV system look good, the next step is the first cheap fix, and that is cleaning the throttle body. This is one of the most common fixes for a rough idle because the throttle body controls how much air enters the engine, and over time, carbon builds up around the throttle plate. When that carbon ring gets thick, the engine cannot get the smooth amount of air it needs at idle, so the RPM may drop too low, bounce up and down, or the car may stall when you stop. Before cleaning, make sure the engine is off and cool, then remove the intake hose so you can see the throttle plate. Use throttle body cleaner and a clean cloth. Do not use random household cleaner, and do not flood the throttle body like you are washing a tire. Spray the cleaner on the cloth first, then wipe the black carbon buildup around the plate and inside the bore. The goal is to remove the sticky black ring that stops the throttle plate from controlling idle air smoothly. Now, if your car has an electronic throttle body and the throttle plate is hard to open by hand, here is the gas pedal hack. Put the key in the on position without starting the engine, or press the start button without your foot on the brake so the dashboard lights come on but the engine does not start. Then, have someone press the gas pedal slowly to the floor. On many cars, this will open the electronic throttle plate so you can clean behind it safely without forcing the plate by hand. If it does not open on your vehicle, do not fight it, because some cars need a different method, but on many electronic throttle bodies, this trick gives you access to clean the back side of the plate properly. Once you are done cleaning, let everything dry, reconnect the intake hose tightly, and make sure there are no loose clamps. This is an important part, because if you clean the throttle body and then leave the intake hose loose, you have just created the same air leak you were trying to fix. After cleaning the throttle body, the idle may act strange for a few minutes, and this is where many people panic and think they damaged something. In many cars, the computer needs to relearn the clean throttle position because it was used to compensating for the dirty throttle body. A simple idle relearn you can try is this. Turn the key to the on position for about 10 seconds without starting the engine, turn it off for 10 seconds, then start the engine and let it idle without touching the gas pedal for several minutes. After that, turn on the AC, headlights, and rear defroster so the engine computer can adjust the idle under load. Some vehicles need a scan tool for a proper throttle relearn, but many will relearn after idling and driving normally for a short time. The next cheap cleaning fix is the MAF sensor, or MAP sensor, depending on what your car uses. If your vehicle has a mass airflow sensor, it is usually located near the air filter box, and its job is to measure how much air is entering the engine. If it gets dirty from dust, oil, or a bad air filter, it can send the wrong information to the computer, and that wrong information can cause rough idle, hesitation, poor fuel economy, stalling, or weak acceleration. This is very important. Clean the MAF sensor only with dedicated MAF sensor cleaner. Do not use carb cleaner, brake cleaner, throttle body cleaner, or compressed air, because the sensing element can be extremely delicate, especially the hot wire type, and the wrong cleaner can damage it. Remove the sensor carefully. Spray the sensing element with MAF cleaner. Do not touch the wires with your fingers or a cloth. Let it dry completely, and then reinstall it. If your car uses a MAP sensor, remove it carefully and check for oil or carbon buildup. A dirty MAP sensor can confuse the computer about engine load, and that can also cause unstable idle, poor acceleration, and bad fuel economy. Use an electronic safe cleaner or the correct sensor safe cleaner, let it dry fully, and reinstall it. Now we move to the secret weapon that separates guessing from diagnosing, a basic OBD2 scan tool. You do not need an expensive professional scanner to start. Even a cheap scanner can read engine codes, and if you do not want to buy one yet, check whether an auto parts store near you can read the codes for free. Codes do not always tell you the exact part to replace, but they point you in the right direction, and that is already better than replacing parts blindly. For rough idle, you want to look for misfire codes, like P0300, P0301, P0302, P0303, or P0304. P0300 means random or multiple cylinder misfire, while P0301 means cylinder 1, P0302 means cylinder 2, and it continues like that. These codes are very useful because they tell you whether the problem is affecting the whole engine or one specific cylinder. If your scanner can show live data, look at fuel trims. This sounds technical, but I'll make it simple. Fuel trim is the computer's correction. If the number is positive, the computer is adding fuel because it thinks the engine is running lean, which often points to extra air from a vacuum leak, a cracked intake boot, a dirty MAF sensor, or low fuel pressure. If the number is negative, the computer is removing fuel because it thinks the engine is running rich, which can point to a leaking injector, a stuck purge valve, too much fuel pressure, or a sensor giving wrong information. So remember it this way. Positive fuel trim usually means the engine is looking for more fuel because too much air is getting in, and negative fuel trim usually means the engine is trying to pull fuel away because too much fuel is entering. That one idea can save you from replacing random parts because now you are following the data instead of chasing symptoms. Now let's talk about ignition, because if the engine has a true misfire, cleaning the throttle body may help the idle feel better, but it will not fix a dead coil or a worn spark plug. If your car shakes at idle, feels worse in drive than in park, and has a check engine light with a cylinder misfire code, this is where you use the coil swap trick. Let's say your scanner shows P0302, which means cylinder 2 misfire. Do not immediately buy a new coil. First, move the ignition coil from cylinder 2 to another cylinder, for example, cylinder 4. Then clear the code and drive the car or let it run until the misfire comes back. If the code changes from P0302 to P0304, the misfire followed the coil, and that tells you the coil is likely bad. But if the misfire stays on cylinder 2, the coil is probably not the problem, and now you need to check the spark plug, injector, compression, or wiring on that cylinder. That is the kind of simple test that makes you look like you know exactly what you are doing, because instead of replacing 4 coils or guessing based on symptoms, you are making the bad part identify itself. While you are there, inspect the spark plugs. If they are old, worn, oil-covered, fuel-wet, or the gap is too wide, they can cause rough idle and misfires. A black sooty plug may mean the engine is running rich. A white dry plug may suggest a lean condition. A wet plug may mean that the cylinder is not firing properly. An oily plug may point to oil entering the cylinder from worn valve seals, piston rings, or another internal issue. The key is to compare all the plugs, because one plug that looks different from the rest is often giving you the clue. Now, if your rough idle gets worse when you turn on the AC, do not automatically blame the AC compressor. When the AC turns on, it adds load to the engine, and the computer is supposed to raise the idle slightly to keep the engine from stalling. But if the throttle body is dirty, the idle air control system is sticking, the battery voltage is weak, or the engine already has a vacuum leak, the extra AC load can pull the idle down and make the car shake or stall. So if the car idles fine with the AC off, but shakes badly with the AC on, go back to the basics before you condemn the compressor. Clean the throttle body, check the intake hose, check the vacuum lines, inspect the PCV valve, and make sure the battery terminals are clean and tight. A weak battery connection or unstable alternator voltage can cause strange idle problems because the throttle body, ignition coils, sensors, and engine computer all depend on stable voltage. If you have a multimeter, check the battery voltage. With the engine off, a healthy, fully charged battery is usually around 12.6 volts. With the engine running, you usually want to see around 13.7 to 14.7 volts, depending on the vehicle. If the voltage is too low, too high, or jumping around, the charging system may need attention before you blame sensors. Now let me put the whole diagnostic flow in the exact order you should follow, because this is the part that keeps you from wasting money. First, check the intake boot for hidden cracks, especially underneath and inside the accordion folds. Second, check vacuum lines, PCV hoses, and listen for hissing. Third, clean the throttle body and do an idle relearn. Fourth, clean the MAF or MAP sensor with the correct cleaner. Fifth, scan for codes using a basic OBD2 scanner or get the codes read for free at an auto parts store if that service is available where you live. Sixth, look at fuel trims if your scanner has live data. Positive fuel trims push you toward air leaks, dirty airflow sensors, or low fuel pressure, while negative fuel trims push you toward too much fuel, leaking injectors, purge valve issues, or rich running problems. Seventh, if you have a misfire code, use the coil swap trick before replacing coils. Eighth, inspect the spark plugs and compare them cylinder by cylinder. That is the flowchart. Not guessing, not buying parts because a forum comment said so, not replacing everything the parts store suggests. You follow the symptom, check the free stuff first, clean the parts that commonly get dirty, and then use the scan data to decide where to go next. Now, there are times when you should stop DIY and get proper testing done. If the check engine light is flashing and keeps coming back, if one cylinder keeps misfiring even after swapping coils and checking plugs, if you have low compression, coolant mixing with oil, heavy white smoke from the exhaust, timing chain noise, or the engine sounds mechanically damaged, then the problem may be deeper than a dirty throttle body or a cracked vacuum hose. At that point, you need compression testing, fuel pressure testing, smoke testing, or a deeper diagnosis before you keep spending money. But if your car still starts, still drives, and the main complaint is rough idle, RPM bounce, shaking at stoplights, or stalling when the AC comes on, there is a very good chance the fix is in the basic diagnostic path we just covered. So before you pay a mechanic or replace random parts, check the intake boot, inspect the vacuum lines, clean the throttle body, clean the MAF or MAP sensor, scan the codes, read the fuel trims, and use the coil swap trick if you have a misfire code. That is how you fix a rough idle without a mechanic, or at least walk into a repair shop knowing exactly what has already been tested. If this video helped you understand why your car shakes, stalls, or has RPM bounce at idle, like the video, share it with someone who is about to waste money replacing the wrong part, and subscribe to our channel for more simple diagnostic guides that help you fix the real problem before buying parts you do not need. Next, before you go, I want you to watch this other video on how you can clean some of these sensors mentioned earlier to make your car engine run like new again. That video shows you all the overlooked sensors that can cause rough idle, poor acceleration, bad fuel economy, and random warning lights, even when the engine is not actually dying.